Before meal preps, before recipes, before fire, there was just a hungry human and whatever they could grab. But here's the twist. Cavemen weren't the mindless, meat-munching brutes you think they were. What they ate, and how they figured out how to cook it, changed the entire course of human history. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at your dinner the same way again. Let's go back, way back, about 2.5 million years ago, to a world with no agriculture, no animals raised for food, no wheat, no sugar. So what did early humans eat? Everything. Literally everything they could find. Meat? Yes. Big game like mammoths, bison, deer, and wild horses. But also small animals. And here's the part nobody likes to talk about: insects. Grubs, beetles, termites. Packed with protein, easy to catch. Early humans ate them by the handful. Not as a dare, as breakfast. On the plant side, they foraged roots, tubers, wild berries, leaves, mushrooms, and nuts, anything the season offered. There was no plan. You ate what the land gave you that day, and you were grateful for it. But the real secret weapon? Bone marrow. Cavemen would crack animal bones open with stones, just to scoop out the fatty, calorie-dense marrow inside. It was their energy drink, rich in fat, nutrients, and calories they desperately needed to survive. And they wasted, absolutely, nothing. Not the hide, not the organs, not even the brain. Animal brains, high in fat and omega-3s, were considered a prize worth fighting for. Now, getting this food was the hard part. Picture early human hunters not as lone figures with spears, but as teams. Working together, they turned cliffs, rivers, and the terrain itself into weapons, channeling herds toward edges or into water, where speed and strength gave way to panic and exhaustion, and the animals became easy to take down. This is called cooperative hunting, and evidence of it goes back at least 400,000 years. They weren't just strong. They were smart, reading animal behavior, planning ahead, communicating a strategy before the chase even began. And when big game wasn't available, they scavenged, following predators like lions and hyenas, waiting for the kill, then rushing in to steal what remained. It was dangerous, humbling even, but calories were calories, and survival didn't leave room for pride. Their tools were shockingly refined for their time. Flint hand axes sharp enough to slice through thick hide and bone. Stone scrapers to strip meat clean. These weren't accidents stumbled upon. They were crafted, improved, and passed down through generations. And then one day, everything changed. Fire. The earliest solid evidence of controlled fire use dates back about 1 million years, discovered in Wonderwork Cave in South Africa. Burned animal bones and plant ash, proof that someone, 1 million years ago, made a deliberate choice to cook their food instead of eating it raw. And that choice rewired humanity. Cooked food is easier to chew, easier to digest, and releases far more calories from the same amount of food. Scientists now believe that the invention of cooking is directly tied to the growth of the human brain. More energy, more efficiently absorbed, meant more fuel for bigger, more complex minds. In other words, fire didn't just cook their food. It cooked us into who we are. But there's something else fire gave them that often gets overlooked. The campfire became the first dinner table. People gathered around it, shared food, talked, bonded. Here's where it gets really interesting. Cavemen used spices. Archaeological evidence from Neanderthal sites shows traces of wild herbs and plants mixed with food, not just for survival, but very likely for flavor. Seafood was enormous. Coastal early human sites are filled with ancient shell middens, prehistoric trash heaps piled with oyster shells, clam shells, mussel shells, and fish bones. Seafood provided omega-3 fatty acids that were critical for brain development, and coastal communities thrived on it. The ocean wasn't just a boundary. It was a buffet. And carbs? Yes, carbs existed. Wild tubers and starchy underground roots were a staple across many regions. And when cooked, they became energy-dense, filling, and easy to digest. The idea of a zero-carb caveman is one of the great modern myths. Early humans ate what gave them energy, and starchy roots gave them plenty of it. And then there was honey. Cave paintings in Spain dating back 8,000 years actually show humans climbing into wild beehives, Even 8,000 years ago, after a long, brutal day of hunting and surviving, someone looked at a buzzing hive of angry bees and thought, worth it. So, what does all of this actually tell us? The popular paleo diet trend tries to copy what cavemen ate: meat, vegetables, nuts, nothing processed. And while the instinct isn't entirely wrong, the truth is that there was no single caveman diet. It changed completely depending on where you lived, what season it was, and what the land around you could offer. Coastal humans ate seafood. Inland humans ate big game. Tropical humans thrived on fruit, plants, and yes, insects. Cold climate humans ate heavy, fat-rich diets to survive brutal winters. The diet shifted with the landscape, and so did the people eating it. We weren't built for one specific way of eating. We were built to adapt. Now here's something that might surprise you. Some people today, inspired by all of this, have actually tried going back to raw eating, the way our earliest ancestors ate it. And the results were not pretty. Here's the biological truth. Our bodies have changed. Over hundreds of thousands of years of cooking food, our digestive systems actually shrank and simplified. Because cooked food does a lot of the hard work for us before it even enters our stomach. Our jaws got smaller. Our gut got shorter. We traded raw food digestion for a bigger brain. That was the deal evolution made for us, and we didn't get a vote. Which means, if you tried to survive today on only raw meat and uncooked roots, your body would genuinely struggle. You'd absorb far fewer calories, your digestion would work overtime, and you'd likely lose dangerous amounts of weight within weeks. We didn't just learn to cook. We became dependent on it. Cooking isn't just a cultural habit we picked up. It is now written into our biology. Fire changed what we eat, yes, but it also permanently changed what we are. The next time you sit down for a meal, remember, you're doing something humans have been doing for over 1,000,000 years. Gathering, sharing, eating together. The ingredients have changed. The instinct hasn't.